Hello, Cedar City, Iron County, Utah. I apologize for the lighting, but it's very late, and I'm making this video because we know that the last meeting for the Planning Commission to make this decision on the data center is May 7th. And like me, you might have received an email saying that they're actually not going to be discussing the data center on May 7th anymore. And this shouldn't really be surprising to anybody. I think I said on Facebook a couple weeks ago that, yeah, they're having the meeting on May 7th at 5:30 p.m. in the festival hall, but I wouldn't be surprised if they changed it last minute to suppress turnout. And now, I'm telling you again, I wouldn't be surprised if they give us 12 hours advance noting of when they're actually going to make the final approval on this thing. I, for one, am still going to the May 7th Planning Commission meeting in Festival Hall, Cedar City. And I think that if any of you were planning to go either, you should still go. Because showing up in force as a community to make ourselves seen and to make ourselves heard matters. I mean, they literally took this off of the agenda because they knew that the room was going to be packed. I think everybody should know that Box Elder is getting the world's largest data center that's going to use twice the amount of electricity as the entire state of Utah, and thousands of people showed up to oppose that. And they were booing and they were chanting, and the county commissioners voted to approve it anyways. And that is not representation. That is contempt. They hate us. So if you're someone who lives in Box Elder County, I want you to remember these names: Boyd Bingham, Lee Perry, and Tyler Vincent. Those are your commissioners. These are the people, despite massive public opposition, voted to approve the biggest data center in the world in your community. And I feel like a broken record mentioning this, but both of these data centers, all the data centers planned in the state of Utah, will be powered off of 100% natural gas, releasing millions and millions and millions of tons of CO2 into our atmosphere every year. And Governor Spencer Cox supports all of it. He's out there declaring a statewide drought and asking us to pray for rain while he pushes through dozens of the most water intensive and energy intensive projects in the country, if not the world. I sent Brett Hamilton, who is the planner for Iron County, an email alerting him to what I thought was a very suspicious zoning change for the land that this Antelope data center is going to be built on. The property is zoned A20, that is agricultural. However, data centers and data center power plants were added as a conditionally permitted use for this zoning through 2025-5 on April 14th, 2025. So the county is not even considering a rezoning to build this massive natural gas power plant or this gigantic 1,500 megawatt data center. It's just allowed. So they're considering a conditional use permit. And to me, this screams that they knew. The Iron County commissioners are acting like this was sprung upon them in March and that they learned about it for the first time and that they're really listening to the community's input and their opposition to this. But I don't buy that bullshit. And you shouldn't either. Who suddenly amends the zoning code to allow data centers and data center power plants for no reason? Conspiracy theorist has its negative connotations, but I'm proud to be a conspiracy theorist. I was calling out Pizzagate in 2017 and seeing every mention of it completely blacklisted from social media 10 years before it was all revealed to be true. I remember screaming into the void that it was not the Democrats or the Republicans, but it was all of them. Everybody. This type of shit keeps me up at night because I see both parties have been completely infiltrated and are now completely owned by these billionaire corporate globalists. And that whether you vote for Republicans or you vote for Democrats, you're voting for more of these same puppet politicians that are betraying their oath and everything that makes us a free country. There's a lot of MAGA Republicans out here that will never change their mind. No matter how bad it gets, no matter how much you show them, no matter how many times his name is mentioned in the Epstein files, they're going to support Donald Trump to the end of the earth. They'll vote for him if he runs for a third term. But there's a lot of Republicans out here and across the country who really do love their country, and they believe in the principles that it was founded on. They believe in democracy and fair representation and participation and liberty and justice for all, everyone, even if they are the president. I know that I'm running under the Democratic banner, but I'm asking you to see beyond labels and try to understand what I really stand for. Because I'm a working class person, I'm a homeowner, I'm a public employee, and I'm a person who loves their community and loves rural Utah just like you. And right or left, we really do have a lot more in common with each other than we do with the corporate politicians pretending to represent us. We want to be able to own a home in our hometown. We want to be able to afford our health care so that our family doesn't go bankrupt the first time that we actually need it. And we want well-funded public schools so that our kids can get a real education that is just as good as our rich neighbors down the street. And we want to know that our politicians actually represent us and weren't elected just to serve their corporate masters. When they tell us that solar and wind is bad, even though it's the cheapest source of electricity, we need to wake up and realize that they are bought by big oil. And when they tell us that they can't lower our healthcare costs, that they can't make our insulin or our medications cheaper, we need to wake up and realize that they are bought by the pharmaceutical industry and the health insurance industry. And when they tell us that home prices increasing by 60% in the last few years is a normal thing, we need to realize that 70% of Utah politicians have deep financial ties to the real estate and development industry. And when we see massive development of cheaply built, low quality, ugly, and insanely expensive townhomes all over our state, that they benefit from that. And that will never change unless we elect real representatives who don't. My name is Thomas Lovehart, and I'm an independent who is running as a Democrat because we deserve a real opposition party out here in rural Utah. Rex Shipp is the Republican incumbent, but no one will ever challenge him from the right. And Democrats and Republicans and independents and libertarians and unaffiliated voters out here, we need to work together. Too much of our politics has become this red versus blue nonsense. And I know why a voter votes for a certain party. I do. But the point that I'm trying to make is that just because a particular party endorses a candidate doesn't mean that that candidate stands for what that label is supposed to represent. To be honest, I think that a lot of us feel politically homeless right now. There isn't a party that represents us. I can honestly say that I've voted third party in every election since I turned 18, but I am not naive enough to believe that that wasn't simply a protest, throwaway vote. I desperately want a real opposition party in this country, but we don't get that. Instead, we get two wings of the same corporatist party, the red and blue version of the same sellout politicians who want to give another $1 trillion tax cuts for billionaires or start another forever war for oil and then go party on Epstein's Island together. I'm not stupid, and I know that running as a Democrat here is essentially suicide by self-immolation. I've seen that in the comments. But I also think that what a candidate stands for is more important than what party endorses them. I chose the ballot line that gave me the clearest path to run, but I'm not interested in being anyone's rubber stamp. I want support from Republicans and Democrats and libertarians and independents and unaffiliated and anybody who cares about good government, liberty, and representation. And I support ranked choice voting because I want candidates of all stripes to be able to get on the ballot and to win based off of their platform and their ideas rather than simply being a protest throwaway vote for a rigged two-party system. But everyone in the comments, I want you to tell me what are the issues that are most important to you because I really do care about what you think. Whether you're a Republican or a Democrat or a Libertarian or something else, I want to represent you. My name is Thomas Lovehart, and I'm a progressive independent challenger running to unseat the Republican incumbent Rex Ship for House District 71. And if you live in Cedar City or Parowan or Enoch or Bryan Head or Canaraville, then consider supporting someone that you probably never would have imagined yourself supporting. And vote for me, and I promise I will work for you. You can learn all about me and where I stand on my website. And if what I'm saying resonates with you, then please consider donating, because this is really as grassroots as it gets. And if we're going to build a better Utah where working people can actually afford to live in this state, then I need all of your help to do that.